my kids to the end of time unless I know they're wrong, and then if I know they're wrong, well, their lives are over. They lose all privileges. No, because right is right.
Yeah, I understand.
And that's all there is to it. But I already knew what this woman's attitude was. I already knew how I had asked her. I met 3 times with her, asking for extra help, resources, all kinds of things, and her answer was no. And she even tried to sell what she did. She sold the kids' practice tests for the before the math thing. Sold, not handed out, not printed out copies to do practice tests for the math exam. Sold them. So I hated this woman, and I was not to be trusted to go into this meeting and be cool, especially after we saw the email responses that John started of them trying to turn it around, because they're very good at that. The school never wants to take. They protect their teachers. They always do. It's their knee-jerk response, and they have to, because, and I know my mom was a teacher, they have to, they get a lot of crazy claims. There's a lot of kids that, just like how I got blamed eventually. By the time we left Midtown West, I was so mad about all the volunteering I had done over the years, because finally, I kept all of those 57 kids alive for years without 90% of those parents ever showing up on anything. I took care of their kids. I fed them. I crossed them through streets. I led them through forests. And instead of thanking me,
you did
I know, I did everything. But instead of thanking me, I actually got attacked by many of them when occasionally, and everyone, all the kids knew it. All the kids knew that I was, in fact, if you were to choose a parent that most of the kids would come to, the kids would come to me all the time with outside things. If they had a problem, whether it was physical, like Catalina knows I've taken out 8,000 splinters and pulled out about 22. I think I even pulled out one of your kids too. But they came to me with all kinds of just things that they needed a grown-up to talk to, because they didn't feel like they had. So they trusted me. They knew that even though I sometimes curse like a sailor, they also knew that I wasn't going to do baby talk to them. I wasn't going to treat them like they were idiots, because that's how most grown-ups treat children. And never talk down to them. And I would give them an honest answer, and I would, if it merited, I would help them, and if it, and
you were there for them.
But I would also be on them if they weren't. I was the very first person to. I was the first person to call them. No, that's why every trip that we went on, I was handed like the most difficult kids, to the point where when we went on that 3-day camping trip to Hawk Mountain and they divided up the groups, they had against a wall lined up for me, my group, my daytime group, not my nighttime group. In my daytime group, like after I stood back and I looked, I just burst out laughing. I turned to the teachers and I said, guys, I'm good, but I'm not that good. I had every difficult kid there was. I had Koki, Booker, Kate, Rose, Kiara. I had every kid that could run away, disappear, set a fire, get pregnant, chop someone in half. I had every maniac there was. And I literally turned to the teachers and I was like, guys, I am not that good.
That was too much.
So, but after that trip,
I heard that was a great trip.
It was a great trip, but after that trip, and I was great. I mean, I packed for my bunk. Every single kid in my bunk, I brought them all blow-up mattresses. I brought them all headlamps. I brought them all lanterns. I had friggin' everything. I had a potty for them.
I actually was the roommate of Amy.
She did a great job.
Oh my God, I got so lucky.
She did a great job, but not as good as
me.
So did I. I had everything.
But your first aid kit, I took notes.
Oh, no, I had ventilator too, which then I have all, besides my regular medical kit, which is like I can perform surgery, and my EpiPens and everything like that. But I also had, because of Finn, I also had all my non-latex stuff because of his latex allergy.
That's unbelievable.
But like Erica and Phil would always ask if I was going on a trip before they allowed him to go, because, well, I carried an EpiPen Junior and a regular, and I,
That's amazing.
It's just, but afterwards, I got attacked by a couple of parents as I was collecting money as I was sitting there sitting duck, because some kids laid out and out lives. One of the girls in my bunk, who should be in the penitentiary any day now in Juvie Hall, lied and said I wouldn't let her go to the bathroom. I said, I made everyone go to the bathroom. It's dark outside, we gotta go through the woods. I said, come on, we're all going to the bathroom. She refused. Then, lo and behold, an hour later, I gotta go to the bathroom. So, of course, I took her. She lied, but I didn't. She said that I made her pee in her pants and in her bed every night. And trust me, because no, and I know this for a fact because I'm the one who had to. Of course, but I know for a fact it wasn't, because I'm the one who had to roll everybody's stuff up and clean up their thousands of. They don't fold clothes; they throw their clothes on the floor, and we had inspection every day. And every day, our bunk won the cleanest bunk, and of course, we also had snacks. But that's why it was a thing, because I had to dispose of all the evidence, and I didn't want to bear to get us.
Right.
But still, she told her mom all this nonsense. When the truth was that I yelled at her because I caught her. She ran away from my group twice. Once, all the way down to the road with a boy. A not so good boy either. And you know that this child, I haven't named her name yet. This child is a very fast, not so good kid.
Wow.
So, yeah, when she disappeared once into the woods and then once all the way down to the road, and I was like, oh my God, I've lost a kid for the first time ever. And I haven't just lost a kid, I've lost a girl and a boy. I was like, so after that, it was like they were tethered to me and she was pissed. So she told all sorts of nonsense lies. But whatever. But back to the theater. I think that
the theater play into Ella's. I think you were going to tell me.
the theater didn't. Whereas that's my point. That their guidance counselors are out there looking for any of the buzzword scary things that they're supposed to look for. They're very concerned with whose shorts are too short. They're very busy calling parents, and they're worried about teen sex. They're worried about bulimia. They're worried about cutting. They're worried about that. That's what they're on the lookout for. But they're not getting input from anyone else. The skits that Ella, they had what Ella's.
Do they have a drama teacher? What?
Yeah, and they do, and they have the largest music program in the city.
That's right. Yeah, that's terrific.
Yeah, but they unfortunately they don't have it integrated where they should, because they had one good thing, which was that they had to. They had part of their English curriculum was built into it, or somewhat at least, because they had to not just perform. It wasn't just improvisation. They had to write a skit, and they had to perfect it. They had to correct it. So their English skills improved in that regard, but they're especially when you're giving kids a wide. If you want to weed out, if you want to help the kids who are, and truthfully, like you just said to me, is your child becoming ashamed and nasty to you? Is your child treating you like you're a horror? Yes. If you want to see, I remember how frustrated I was at that age. And basically, the reason why I was so mad at my parents, and I treated them like they were so stupid, was because I ended up moving to Mexico as my first exchange student. I was 15.
It's amazing.
I have always been I always knew that I wasn't from a small town. I always knew that there was a bigger world out there for me, and I always felt like there was I was meant.
Misunderstood and frustrated.
No,
Is that what you're saying?
Growing up in a small town was not for me.
Okay.
I knew that I was made for bigger things. I knew that the world was a bigger place. I always felt like I was some sort of superstar. God only knows I never got cast in a single friggin' play. But I do walk around like a diva every day of the week.
Well, you know what? That's even better. Real life TV. You don't have to be a.
But I know. But
You can go through the suffering of being a
no. But the thing is that at this age, and I remember though, I remember hating my parents so much because I was already so limited in my life. You couldn't get anywhere unless your parents drove you.
Right.
And
It's frustrating. You want the independence.
Exactly. You can't have that.
Right.
At least, I mean, Amy and Ella both had to earn it, and they earned it at different points. Annie earned the privilege of being able to travel around town on her own much earlier than Ella. And Ella still can barely get wherever she wants to go. She's like not good with maps, even though her phone tells her everything. But Annie freaking goes, she escorts her friends around town. Like she's in charge of chaperoning her friends because their friends' parents don't trust their kids. But she's incredibly independent. She's incredibly sure-footed. She's great. But I think that if the schools wanted to get, I think they could gain two very important things out of the drama program. Besides the kids just having fun, because the kids really do have fun. They really do. They enjoy it. Even if they're paired with like some stupid, dorky guy that they don't want to be with.
Exactly.
Which they do complain about a lot. And they do complain about getting yelled at by the drama teachers a lot if they're paired with their friends, because they get giggly and whatever, they get out of control. But the schools could glean so much information. It's like the perfect built-in spying situation to learn about teachers, to learn about
learn about
teachers,
what's really
social,
on their mind.
exactly. This last summer, I'll give you an example, and you can just take from this and apply it to the drama program. Last summer, when my own children were in sleepaway camp, and I was so excited, I was counting down the days to my freedom, my summer freedom. Of course, Wolf got her annual "I'm gonna die" disease. Spent the first 10 days babysitting my maybe dying dog. Every year she gets something. But last summer also, on the 4th of July, we got the phone call that Joel's, my boyfriend's sister, who's been battling cancer all year, that she checked herself into the emergency room. The pain was too much. So we ended up walking from the fireworks where we were trapped. We couldn't get out until it was way over. And then walking all the way up to Lenox Hill.
Oh my God.
And we ended up spending the summer, we'd signed up Joel's niece, the sister's daughter, for teen sailing camp, and I signed up Linda's daughter, Amanda, both the same age, for teen sailing camp. It was an all-day-long program.
That's fantastic.
It was like all day. I keep them busy, something to do. They learn something, learn a skill, and it was very affordable.
Wow. Where was it?
It's usually out of downtown, like by the World Trade Center, but they've moved it over to New Jersey. They take the kids on a shuttle boat across in the morning.
Amazing.
It's fantastic. Well, actually, the one uptown's a lot safer. This one lacks a lot of the safety measures that I would have liked to have seen.
Okay.
But here's the thing: since they were both doing it together, neither one of them knew how to get there. The mother, who ended up hospitalized, was going to take her kids on the first day, and I actually told her, no, you can take her on the subway to the ferry boat, but you can't go on the ferry with her. Like, that's not cool. She's 15.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna make her no, you can't do it. You gotta say. So it worked out that she was hospitalized, and the father worked nights. So Joel and I ended up parents of 2 kids this summer that weren't even ours.